When it comes to harvesting does, are you killing old does or young does?
I'm shooting does.
You don't care?
I mean, if you can easily judge, hey, that's an old doe, I'm probably going to shoot the old doe. But in the same sense, a mouth is a mouth is a mouth. As long as you get, like we are, try to get mouths off the plots and manage the herd, at the end of the day, it don't matter. To me, it don't.
All right, welcome back to another Buck Junkie Podcast. Here we are into November, fellas. First week, election day.
Election day. Did y'all go vote?
Jay, did you go vote?
Shoot, I tried to. It was a half-mile long line. I'm waiting to go back this afternoon.
It was about an hour long when I drove by there and looked, and my wife went. She wanted to go early. I said, I'll just wait.
I'm going to jump on the bike this morning or this afternoon and run up there and vote.
You got your sticker. You went.
Yeah, I got my sticker.
How bad was it at your poll?
Waited about an hour. It was up there at the church. I walked up, and I wasn't quite at the road and went all the way into the parking lot, all the way across the back end. It was a pretty long line. There's more people than I've ever seen.
But I come by at 8:30 and we could walk right in. I mean,
yeah. When I was leaving, it wasn't but there was about 20 people outside the door, 30 people outside the door. That was it. When I got there, it was a bunch.
Before work rush.
Yeah.
It's always like that.
Showed up at 7 o'clock, and I got out of there, I don't know, it was 8:15.
I looked at the sample ballot, man. I had no idea it was that many people even thinking about a president.
There's a bunch.
Everybody dodging the rain, too.
Oh, yeah.
This afternoon's going to be raining.
I can't wait. We need some. We need some more. We got a little. It's looking good.
I hope we get some because I put enough nitrogen out last night to burn the world down.
I saw you sent me a picture of it. It looked. You're gonna be
white.
fertile.
It was white.
The ground's gonna be rich. So I figured this week we got any news or updates. What we got going on our giveaway, Mikey?
We got till Friday, so by the time this podcast comes out, you won't have very long to submit a picture. But Friday at midnight, I think is what it is, where we stop it at, November the 7th. We'll choose somebody that has a unique they don't have to be unique. We're just going to choose a winner from the game cam picks. Really didn't get a whole lot of people turn in their kills from bow kills. I don't know if they just hadn't or what, but we got some pretty unique pictures on trail cams though.
Hey,
pretty cool ones.
Hey, if you want to win something, we're going to keep giving stuff away. So this one is a Mystery Ranch backpack.
Yep.
This is like one of those that you would go out elk hunting with.
It's a nice backpack.
It's a little overkill for Mississippi for what we got. But if you're interested in the chance to win that new Mystery Ranch backpack, I think it's a Mossy Oak pattern backpack. They partnered with them on this one. So
man, much stuff I carry. I might ought to submit a picture for that.
To put a picture in, Jamie.
She just thought you throw the whole refrigerator with you in this thing.
Yeah.
You put a bunch of snacks in that thing.
You can take out and stay gone a week.
Yeah.
With this one. But we're going to give that away. I guess we'll be talking about it next week, announcing the winner on the podcast. So if you got a picture in, any kind of trail cam pick or a bow kill, a harvest pick, you can send that in. But you better go ahead and get it in.
Yeah, don't sleep on it. It's going in fast.
We're going to end it at midnight Friday night.
Yeah.
That way
I'll select somebody.
Yeah. Saturday. We'll select them Saturday. How about that?
Saturday.
There you go.
Yeah.
Give them till Saturday morning. But I got some other news. I saw this and I just thought it was crazy. Have y'all seen this guy? This old man in Montana. I think he's like 81 years old. He got busted for cloning trophy rams and selling them to these Texas ranches, I guess, where they have high fence exotic hunts.
Yeah. So, yeah, I read the article or looked at it, and what I want to know, all right, so he mixed a Marco Polo ram and was it Rocky Mountain sheep or whatever it is, Marco Polo sheep, whatever it is, goat. So he mixed those two together to try to create this super sheep or sheep.
Yeah, trophy sheep. What did he call it? Montana Mountain King is what he called his new breed.
Huh.
How do y'all feel about that? So here's what he was doing. He got a guy that went hunting over, and it's like Kazakhstan, or so it's somewhere over in Asia. And so he got the testicles and some tissue from it, took it in a lab, impregnated an embryo or made an embryo with it, I guess, split it with an egg or whatever, cloned it in a petri dish, put it inside this other ewe, and then it grew this new Montana Mountain King sheep.
You know, they got a movie on that, right?
Dolly. That's
Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park. How do y'all feel about that?
Yeah. It ain't.
You playing with a lot of stuff
Yeah,
you don't
it
need
ain't
to be
right.
playing with.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I don't like the clone, man. I ain't down with that. Creating new animals, we're getting into playing God there.
what I want to know is how much trouble did he go through to get that semen or whatever he got from the Marco Polo sheep from Afghanistan or Pakistan or wherever that's where those things are from anyways, in the Pura Mountains or whatever. But
Yeah.
how did he get that back here? I mean, if somebody just tote that on the plane, just a sack of cards in their pocket and come on the plane.
I don't
and
know.
bring
It's
it
got to
to
be
him?
it's got to be highly illegal, right?
Yeah, but it's
freeze
gotta.
it and send it to him, or
I would think it had to stay like body temp for everything, like the cells died or something. I don't know.
think he did it in his garage. It sounded to me like there's some kind of lab going on here.
Oh yeah, it ain't.
And what else? So if he's done this with these Mountain King sheep he created, what else have they done? That's what other kind of creatures are they making?
Oh, it's no telling.
Well,
If somebody pays money for it, they gonna do it.
our good buddy Luke has got his dog in a test tube.
I've seen
clone
that
it.
where you can clone, like if you got your favorite dog, favorite pet, they can make you another one.
I mean, I love my dogs. Don't get me wrong.
I've seen
but
Pet Cemetery. I know how that works out. You start messing with them animals.
I didn't know. That,
It ain't good.
I didn't know that sheep hunting was like that big of a
Exotic or
Yeah.
the exotic. I mean, I know the bighorn sheep, the rams that he was, I guess crossbreded or whatever he done, used that as the vessel to carry this thing. I know those are the ones you see like on not National Geographic, but whatever, where they back up and they run and they butt heads or whatever.
Right.
They're huge anyways. I mean, them things get up to around 300 pounds, and I forget what size horns they got, 3 or 4 foot worth of horns that weigh 30
Massive.
or 40 pounds. They're massive. And I guess he was just trying to create something
Trophy.
just a lot bigger, because I know the Marco Polo sheep, reading on them, they have 6 foot horns. They're about the same size, but
Body size?
body size, what I could tell, what I read on it, but the horns were like twice as big, and they come around and they curled back out. You've seen these sheep in some movies and stuff like that, if you've ever seen them over in the Middle East, where they come around and they turn back, the horns kind of turn back out at the bottom. Ours, the Rocky Mountain sheep, just kind of makes a big loop around.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's really no different what a lot of people are doing with cattle and sheep, or there's cattle versus sheep and chickens and hogs and everything else.
So
They're
you
doing
think-
some kind of genetic modification to get the most out of it.
That genetically modified meat or whatever.
Yeah.
It's basically lab grown stuff. What's the difference in doing that for a food source for the population versus doing it for trophy hunting? There's some ethics involved there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's definitely an ethical question.
I mean, you look at that.
I don't like the genetically modified meat.
Oh no, there's one we're all dying.
That's like the guy you see in the 5 steaks for $20, 5 ribeyes for $20 or whatever. You're buying a genetically modified.
Moo glue
lab
involved in
grown.
that one.
Well, you look at that deer they just posted last week, the new world record that was like 1,100 inches.
There's something cooking going on.
Yeah, like I don't care if you feed him whatever, that ain't natural.
Yeah.
I mean, there is legit, I guess, breeders out there that they're going, they're doing what they can do to make the healthiest herd, but then you can carry it to the extreme side.
Well, when you're creating something unnatural, but I mean, I don't know. Some of these bucks you see, they don't look natural. These are freaks. When they've got horns coming out everywhere. That's not something that's naturally going to occur. It's been modified. But I don't think they've been like grown in a test tube to start.
No, because I mean, most of you cattle farming and stuff like that, they're not just letting the cows breed in the pasture.
No, they're inseminating.
Artificially
Yeah.
inseminating cows.
They're controlling
keep the damage
what's-
down, keep them, getting hurt and stuff like that. So, and deer breeders kind of do the same thing.
He was just taking a step further.
Yeah, and he crossed the boundary when he started trying to create something new there, especially with game laws and stuff like that, because then he was selling them too.
Yeah.
Now you get some old certified black Angus on a whitetail, you might have something though. Like that might be a pretty good backstrap.
Deer cow.
Wagyu whitetail.
Yeah.
He probably could have gotten in a lot more trouble than he did.
Well,
Bringing that animal or that part of that animal over here illegally from another country.
yeah.
That's pretty serious offense.
I would think that'd be more trouble than the other stuff. I mean,
Yeah, how do you?
when I looked at what he got caught, he got charged with, I didn't think it was like, man, that didn't sound like a slap on the wrist.
Oh, I thought they was going to put him in jail. They
don't-
said they considered his age and
Yeah, 'cause he was
this was his
old.
first offense or whatever. But only 6 months in prison.
Do you think you can go 81 years and that's the only time you ever done it?
Yeah, like your 81st birthday.
Yeah.
I'm just to make an animal.
I'm retired. I'm going to create a new species.
He had tried this before or tested this
Had
on
to have.
something.
I wanna know what else he's made.
He didn't just go in.
I want to see the documentary on this because, but what did he get? He got like a few $1,000 fine, maybe
$10,000 fine.
and then 6 years in jail or 6 months.
6 months.
That's pretty light. I bet he didn't do much time.
No, they're looking at just like, I think they said they were looking at just him doing probation or whatever and paying the fines. But
Yeah, I just don't understand why, logically thinking, if you create something like this, you're going to draw attention. You gotta realize the risk you got going into this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take my
you don't
chances.
get caught on the front end, you're going to get caught on
Yeah, so there's no way around
because
it.
you start killing these things and people start seeing them and they start getting
What is
attention.
this? Yeah.
You know, the
Where does it
game
come
and fish
from?
is going to look at it like, wait a minute, what is this? Do they have a license to have those animals in that cage? Because I'm sure.
Did y'all crossbreed them? Because they probably said that.
Yeah.
Like, look, we just bred these.
And then they're going to want to see the papers where, how did you get that animal over here?
Yeah. Because
Where-
it shouldn't be.
You know, there's a lot of paperwork goes into that, and you know those breeders have to keep on file. So, yeah, he got caught red-handed. He was a little ignorant on that one.
Yeah.
Definitely. But yeah,
How many
like
of
we
these
were saying,
bucks do you think have been growed in a lab that's out there?
Oh, there ain't no telling.
You think there's some of them they're doing some
It's got,
stuff like that?
it is. It's got to be.
But I mean, what deer would he cross with like a whitetail or something if he was going to sell it to make it any bigger?
The elk or mule deer? Or,
Moose.
Yeah, but it wouldn't look the same though. It would change the whole dynamic.
mule
of that.
deer would be kind of
Maybe, yeah.
closest, I guess. But their racks are pretty dang big too.
I wonder what a crossbred whitetail with a mule deer, with a moose or something like that look like. What it would come
I
in.
want to know. If you get one as big as a mule,
What does a mule deer weigh?
they're bigger animals.
300 to
than
400
whitetail.
pounds.
I mean, they're bigger than a whitetail on average.
We'll see.
You gonna say the average size of one?
All I can say is within Colorado, moose is a big animal.
I've seen one on the side of the road in Utah. That's the only time, and it was just a cow. I never seen them
Male 120 to 330.
330. So I think, it's
It ain't. I mean, it's bigger, but it's a bigger range.
yeah. Well, let's talk about what got put on the ground this week. Y'all got any news in the world? I got a buddy. Y'all remember Sean that we met up in Indiana?
Yeah.
He texted me and it's like, man, I want you to see this deer. It's a guy from Indiana killed it, and it's up there close to where his dad's land is, and that was a monster. I don't know what it scored. It didn't say, but it's on the Indiana Whitetails page. If y'all want to check it out, we'll probably try to post it on Buck Junkies too. He told me we could repost it. But the guy's name was Brant in Huntington, Indiana, and he killed a monster. And then I saw, was it
Joe Wilson.
Joe's son?
Yeah.
Arkansas had its youth weekend last weekend, and I don't know if it was his first deer. I didn't get to talk to Joe about it.
Yeah,
Joe?
I didn't get to talk to him either before this, but yeah, he was
Got him a buck.
got him a little buck. Looked like he was pretty excited about it. The boy don't look like he's that old.
Yeah.
Maybe 10 or so.
He's pretty young. It's always good to see the kids them out there getting the kids involved. They probably took a break from squirrel hunting for a little youth weekend.
Yeah.
Hope Outdoors, they had several hunts last weekend in Arkansas for youth, and man, they're starting the year off strong. It's going to be
Really?
if they keep going like this, man, it's going to be a good year for everybody.
Where did they have one area they went in?
It's like 3 chapters over there.
It's on different farms.
Searcy, Arkansas they had one in that area, but yeah, they've all done. They had a real good hunt.
Did you go over on any of them? On that?
No, I didn't. I didn't on the youth hunts. I'm trying to figure out. Indiana's got a chapter, but I hadn't seen where they posted a hunt or if they're going to even have a hunt this year or not. But
When's the DeSoto County, or is it DeSoto?
yeah, DeSoto County. It's opening weekend, and then it'll be January, the second weekend of January. They're going to have 2 this year.
So if there's any handicap hunters out there, that's a good organization to
And
get
then
involved with. It's Hope Outdoors.
Hope Outdoors, and then Arkansas will have their hunt the first and second weekend of December, and
You got to get that application in.
yeah. What is this? Whatever this Friday is, it'll be the drawing day. So
7th or 8th.
yeah, it needs to be turned in by the 8th, and you can go to their Facebook page and print the application off or fill it out. Either one.
What's that Facebook page?
It's the Arkansas Physically Challenged Hunters Association.
That's a good one. If y'all know anybody, or if you're handicapped or you know anybody that is and they're interested in getting in the outdoors, go check out that hunt.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be a good time.
And people come, but you don't have to be a Mississippi resident. There's people that come
Yeah, we've had people from California, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas. Hopefully, you talked to Sean about maybe get his application in too.
Yeah. I told him about it. He didn't know. We mentioned it to him up there, and he didn't know anything about it. He's a wheelchair, and he loves the deer hunt, so hopefully he's going to get to come down. I told him all about it. So,
did you see that deer that guy in Hernando killed with Hal Kent?
Yeah, well, that was a Mississippi deer, wasn't it?
It was a Mississippi deer. Don't say where it was killed, but it was scored by Ronnie Cannon in Oxford at 201 and 5/8.
That's a monster. 200-inch deer in Mississippi. They say Mississippi don't have big deer, Mikey.
That's what somebody posted and said. Is Mississippi the new Kansas? Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know if we go ahead and make that claim.
I don't know. That's pretty bold.
Yeah.
We already made enough people mad saying it was the hardest state to kill a turkey in. So
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. The biggest whitetail on its foot that I've seen was in the city of Collierville. And if it wasn't 200 inches, it was all over it. And it was right there at 69 and Bahia Road several years ago.
Just standing there.
Stand out in the
Biggest
beanfield
Dallas.
eating. It's one of them city deer.
I bet he wouldn't last. I think it's city right there.
Yeah, it would have been in Collierville right on the city limits.
There is no telling what is like lurking around, like some of those areas, like just say the Wolf River and stuff like that up in Memphis, around the edge of that. You know, there are some little oak mottes and places where I know it's in the middle of a big city, but those deer can survive up and down that little river and on those, you know, places like that easily.
I mean, Seek One's a prime example. He set the record with all that stuff about the city deer.
Yeah, because they're still staying there. I mean, there's not as many as what we have around here, but there's still deer kind of lingering around in some of those areas.
Where they have the habitat, there's nothing to mess with them. No pressure hunting them. They get used to people. They just, I mean, you think of all the deer that's out there at Shelby Farms or on President's Island.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about the habitat, y'all. This is kind of the segment we're going to do where we talk about what's going on with our plots and stuff. Me and Mark rode out and looked at them this morning.
they look good.
Mike, you made a loop around working on Stan. What'd y'all think? I was really, really nervous we wasn't going to have any food plots this fall.
I think we got very fortunate with the amount of dew we've had this fall. Like, I think the frost and just the humidity in the morning saved them, hands down.
It had to, as we went 6 weeks without rain. We finally got enough last week to make everything pop, and
Well, getting those first ones in before that hurricane rain, they got up and got, you know, pretty good size where they would sustain a little bit of heat, you know, and Mark's right, you know, the dew that fell and stuff like that. But, you know, some of the other ones that we planted, thank God they didn't sprout, because if they would have sprouted, those little young sprouts would have came up, and that much, you know, heat and just dry would have just devastated them. I mean,
that's what happened to a lot of people I've talked to. Mm-hmm. They got them up, and then they died, and it's just dirt.
See, I planted at the house 2 days after the hurricane. So it went through the whole dry spell of it. And they made it, and the one Jamie planted, it looks good. Shoot, it's all kind of freaking stuff out there in that one you planted.
So is it, just say you didn't get the rain, is it too late?
Well, here was my question. So what do you do if your fall plots fail? If you didn't get rain, if they come up and they burn up, or if you just didn't get any germination, do you try to replant them? Do you hunt what you have and just hope you got enough natural stuff, or do you just give up?
If I'd have bought the seed, I'd plant.
If ours hadn't came up like today, like if we were sitting on dirt and no food plots, we would have had to move this podcast because I'd be planting today.
Just because you know rain's coming.
I know rain's coming, and I'd be back out there replanting and stuff. Now, the ground was already broke, so you really don't have to re-break it or do any of that. You just got to replant it. So I'd be out there slinging seed or planting seed right now.
I mean, granted, you're not going to have a stand of crop or seed or anything, you know, by opening day, but mid-season or to get your deer through the winter, it'll be there.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, even if it germinates, you're going to have some low stuff. There's going to be deer coming out there because we see it. Within a week, we usually have some green up, you know, from the germination. Well, when you put a camera on that, deer start hitting that young, tender stuff, and that's what you'd have to hope for. I mean, I don't know if you got time to go ahead and plant turnips and all the other mixes, but if you're planting grain, where we are in Mississippi, you're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
it ain't got cold.
I'd put it down regardless. I mean, just see what happens. I mean, you might waste a little money on some of that stuff that's in those seed blends and stuff like that, because you're going to be planting them in the cold weather, or it's coming, I hope. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't care if we were sitting in, I probably wouldn't do it opening day, but that week between opening day and Thanksgiving there, if we still didn't have food plots, I'd come back and plant them then.
So when is it too late to plant wheat, oats, and rye?
I mean,
Is there?
Kind of depend on temperature, I would think.
Yeah, I mean, as long as your temperatures ain't dipping into freezing temperatures for, several days there, you should be all right. And once it gets up and gets established, it's fine.
So for us, you're talking, you might end of November still have a chance.
Plant into December here.
December some, we're still seeing 70 degrees.
Yeah, but one of the other things you got to think about too is, I mean, if you're just planting killing plots, that's one thing. But like us, we need that on our farm.
That's our food for them.
That's going to carry them through the spring and everything else. So I'm not going to leave it a desert out there.
Yeah.
We're putting something down, regardless if I got to plant while we're deer hunting or whatever. It's something's fixing to go on the ground.
And that way it's going to carry those. The fawns will have those will have something to eat when they get ready to have their fawns, and then you're going to have some stuff going into summer where the ground's just
think
not
about
there.
your deer, then ours may not be as depleted as in some other areas where their ratios are different, but once those bucks come out of rut and stuff like that, they're weak. I mean, they're skinny. They need something, and acorns are gone. So I mean, if you ain't got something out there for them to feed on in February and March and stuff like that, and build themselves back up, you might lose some of your deer.
So the consensus is, don't give up. Plant something. Get something in the ground before a rain event.
Yeah.
No matter what time it is. Where we are.
Yes, I recommend it. Yes.
I mean, just like yesterday, like I stopped by Walmart, picked up just I think it was a 10-pound bag of, I think it was a quarter acre. And it was a mix just to overseed what I had, because I had some bare spots where I think when it did rain, it might have washed some of the seed off the hillside, because the food plot I planted is not flat. So I went out there and overseeded with I think it was called a 7-card stud from Walmart, and it actually was a pretty dang good mix. It was a lot of oats, chicory, white clover, red clover. What else did I say was in there?
Wheat and rye.
Wheat and rye, yeah. A lot of wheat.
But you said it was like 60%
oats.
Oats, yeah.
It was a lot of oats, but overseed it and see what happens. Throw some more fertilizer out on it, and I mean, I don't think it's going to be an issue, especially if we catch this rain. My only concern is, because I am on a hill and the ground hadn't been broke in a couple of weeks, how much is going to wash off? Hopefully we get a little slow rain at first and kind of peck them into the ground a little bit, and then it'll be all right. But plant it and see what happens. You'd be out $20, $30 on a little bag of mix, and hopefully.
So is it going to change your hunting tactics if you don't have green kill plots?
I mean,
are you going to hunt those box stands that are on your typical food plots that everybody likes to hunt?
Yes, it's going to change your tactics if your main stands are sitting on food plots.
Where are you going to go to the woods?
Yeah, I mean, you're going to have to back up in the woods if you're going to see the deer that you want to see. I mean, and not that they're not going to come across food plots. They're probably still going to cross them or check them or, be meandering through there, but they're not going to stay out. That's not going to be their main focus or their main place to come feed. So
they're not going to hang out in the dirt field.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to figure something else out. So, I mean, you start finding acorn trees, or you find whatever's in your area that they're feeding on at that time, and you're just going to have to hunt those till your plots come up. But I would not just give up on it. And it probably depends on how long your season is too. I mean, and what kind of club you're in, or what kind of situation you're in. Because I mean, if you're in just a club and you're just planting a quarter acre here, quarter acre there, you're not really trying to feed the deer. You're just planting killing plots. I mean, that's kind of up in the air there.
Well, that goes back to, don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
Don't put everything you got in a 5-acre food plot and not have a backup plan of some sort. I mean, we hunted a ton of years growing up that we never planted a food plot. I mean, that's all we hunted was woods or a sagegrass thicket or just anything, That's
government land.
Yeah, government land. You're doing what you can. So it ain't the end of the world if your plots don't look good, but go out there and do what you got to do and enjoy it, and it'll all work out. Hopefully. Maybe.
So for our main topic today, I thought we were going to talk about getting ready for deer season. So, I mean, we know deer season started October 1st here where we are, but we don't get into it until really rifle season. We're not big bow hunters. I mean, I think we got some crossbows and stuff, but they probably talk bad about us for using those. So, but I consider deer season that weekend before Thanksgiving. That's when I think camp opens. That's usually when we do a little steak celebration, go to a restaurant or do something here at camp, or
And it's
it
later
kind of
this
kicks
year.
it off. It does seem later this year.
It's one more week, weekend in November.
It is. So I thought we'd talk about getting ready for deer season. What we're excited about, what kind of new gear you might see that you got to have, or any early season predictions y'all have. But we're just going to jump into it. So what are y'all excited about for this year? Has anything got you ready to go? I know, Jamie, you're probably excited about doing all these other hunts you're going to be doing.
Yeah, so we actually opening weekend will be the first North Mississippi side of it, I guess, of the Hope Outdoors hunt.
They're doing it on opening weekend?
Yeah.
Wow. So that's going to be a big thing. How many hunters do you think you're going to have?
I think we're right at 20. It's in 20-something hunters, I believe.
That's pretty strong.
Yeah.
What about y'all? Y'all got anything?
Man, the only thing I got, we're going to Indiana that weekend, matter of fact, so I'll probably end up leaving pretty early opening weekend. But
so you're going to miss Mississippi opener to go try to kill a big Mississippi deer or Indiana deer?
Try to. We'll see. Because I'm probably going to leave out Sunday of opening weekend, I think, as of right now. But got to shoot some rifles. I ain't even shot my first deer rifle yet this year, so we got to kind of go through that process, make sure they're good. But I'm more fired up just about the good eating and fellowship more than anything.
I got mine dialed in.
I got one for you dialed in. That old 357's over. It's dialed in.
Old Butterbean. That's old Butterbean gun.
I'm going to need something a little bit more than that up there. You might be some of them long pokes up there in them fields.
Is it going to be rifle season there, or is it?
Yeah, it's rifle season.
Yeah. What about you, Mike? You got anything you're excited about?
Man, I'm always excited about opening weekend of deer season. I mean, it's
Ain't nothing like it.
no. I mean, I kind of feel bad because I kind of already got one, but I don't know. I remember laying awake at night as a kid waiting on opening day. Couldn't wait. To get up the next morning, hardly slept. And I still do that now, even though it's just, I don't know. It's just the excitement of seeing what we've done firsthand. When you get out there and start hunting, you get to start seeing your deer and your bucks and your does and just how everything came together, all the hard work throughout the year and stuff like that, and how you get to benefit from it. It's nothing like it, man. I just get wound up about that.
I think, for me, when you think of opening weekend, that's deer season all day long. The only other one that comes close is that dove season.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of the same thing. Everybody comes to camp. Now, it's not nearly as serious as deer season, but, and I don't know, just because it's dove and it feels like we're coming out of the hot summer, it's still usually screaming hot during dove season, but it starts feeling like we're getting into hunting season. You've done all we've done all summer and usually done some fishing and hadn't been in the woods a whole lot other than, getting our summer plots in, but there ain't a whole lot going on. And so when you get to hunting season, it starts getting excited. Well, this deer season is the granddaddy of them all.
Yeah. I do get excited about turkey season, but not opening day of turkey season.
Yeah.
I'm excited it's coming and it opens up, because that would be the next best thing. There's just nothing that compares to deer season.
I've never been to like turkey camp. I mean, I've never heard anybody say, let's go to turkey camp. Let's go to, everybody usually has their little hiding spots.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some big clubs where they got multiple turkey members, but most of the time, the people I know, if you get a big deer club, most of the members don't even turkey hunt. There's a handful of them that'll come, or they might, some people might join the club just for turkey rights. I think over there on the island, guys that do that.
Several people just did the turkey part.
But they don't. But you don't see, you don't think of opening night before turkey season, getting together and having a few drinks and telling stories. It'd be fun. I mean, I'd be down.
It's too
for
secretive.
It is, though. People don't know where the birds are. Why is that?
I don't know if it's because
numbers of turkey versus deer.
That, and I guess you're actually hunting the turkey versus, waiting the deer to come to you. I guess I don't know.
But I'm excited. Deer season gets me pumped up. I'm ready for it. It's going to be a good year, I think.
You look forward to seeing, getting to spend time with people you didn't get to spend time with through the summer and stuff like that. And, gee-hawing around and telling stories and making fun of one another for missing deer or deer in the past that you've missed or messed up on or something you've done. And, that's something that we need to kind of keep alive because it's something, we've seen that with Chandler and them over at their deer camp in Arkansas. And there's still deer camps like that around, but, that camaraderie and that fellowship, just being at camp and them picking and messing with one another, and that's what deer camp's all about. And that's what I get excited about is that, and mainly seeing the deer, what we've done. So
it's important to carry on just this legacy of being able to hunt because numbers are down. I mean, there's not near as many deer hunters as there used to be. People are, I don't know if it's being scared to eat the meat, if it's, people just not getting in the outdoors like they used to. A lot of the land's private. There's not as many places for individuals to go hunt. I mean, you go to government land and then it gets crowded. People don't want to go do that. So there's all kinds of factors going into why they think license sales are down in states. But I mean, if we want to keep our right to hunt and bear arms and do what we do, we got to pass that on. We got to educate the people downriver from us.
Yeah, because
get these kids involved.
They ain't gonna vote for it.
That's exactly right. That's how it'll go. And then we'll have a whole nother problem.
Yeah.
You start talking about overpopulation and disease and all the other stuff that goes with it. Auto accidents even. There's all kinds of factors that goes into controlling the deer population, or at least not controlling it, but managing it.
Hell, I think the government will be paying for us to go out there
hunt. Yeah, we got to get a tax break. How many ever deer you kill? That's tax money off.
Get tax credit.
Deer, you ought to get a tax break.
Once they reach
free auto insurance,
free auto something. They need a discount or something. But that's what gets me excited about deer season, man. I love coming and hanging out. Of course, I love standing, getting in the stand. If you do get a chance to shoot an animal, that's even icing on the cake. But everything that goes involved with it's just fun.
Yeah. One of the things that I do miss, though, is because our boys are up in age now, all our kids are, and, we ain't got no little ones to take, just seeing that excitement on their face, being able to take. Matter of fact, you've seen that this weekend, doesn't it?
I don't think so.
I think so. It's the 9th. I think it opens
Is it really?
The 9th.
Man.
Yeah. I
think
think
town.
So
Michael's going to miss that one.
Yeah. So, I mean, I missed that part of it because, that was a fun time when we had, 3 or 4 kids down here.
Yeah.
Being able to take them and do that. I guess, only one we got left is Dustin's boy, Carter. He's the only one that's even close to.
This is his last year.
Michael, he's way too big.
He just turned 15. Turned 15 in September.
Well,
so he can hunt this season, and he'll be aged out.
But yeah, that taking those kids and letting them go and hunt and stuff like that, and seeing that excitement in their face and passing that down to them and showing them what we've been able to accomplish over the years and learn, and just passing that to them. I hope everybody else is doing that.
So that's what Brad's been involved with the Arca hunt last year, the first year. And that's what he said. He said it was like deer camp was when he was a kid. He got that feeling because it was all these guys that's from all over that hadn't seen each other in a whole year, and get together and everybody hang out and eat, sit around a fire pit, and like I say, joke. You miss a deer, see a deer, or whatever. It's fun.
The stories that go with it.
You hear some stories.
I don't even care if they're the same ones. I mean, we always tell the same old thing.
Yeah.
But I want to hear them again. I want to see how they changed.
So that's what I get more.
We'll get to telling something around the fire pit.
Like Mikey's talking about seeing somebody that maybe never killed a deer. You get more excitement out of that than what if you actually do the hunting yourself. And that's what I get out of the Hope Outdoors and the Arca hunt. You see them guys out there that, I mean, it's definitely a challenge for a lot of them getting a stand. But let's shoot something, and you get a hellacious rush out of
that. Was there any new gear that y'all got to have for this year's hunting season y'all want to tell people about?
Man, I was looking at some stuff, and ain't nothing that I really gotta have, but I seen some pretty neat stuff that they came out with. They've got, which they've probably been out for a little while. Do you see the rechargeable hand warmers they got now?
I've seen people doing TikToks with them, the 2 little things. Yeah.
It's like what you put your earbuds in.
Right, that's what I thought they were.
Like.
I thought it was some kind of game here until saw the guy getting them out of his pants. He forgot he left them in there when he got home. They're still hot.
So those days of those shake and bake hot hands.
Yeah. See, I'm one step further. Buddy heater.
Do they have a new model?
No.
If they come out with a stove top on that thing.
They got one.
Do they?
It's called it's a little square, but the top is a burner.
I do want.
Sits right on top of the grate.
I do want one of the rechargeable heated vests.
Yeah.
As cold as I get, I like to have
I've got one of the Milwaukee ones.
Yeah.
It's you recharge the little battery and put it in it. It gets pretty hot.
Yeah.
I got to upgrade my long johns this year for sure. Because I ain't got no good pair of long johns. I don't even think I wore any last year. Which, I mean, down here, you ain't got to really worry.
Go with the Union suit. Get classic on it. With the butt flap and
onesie
everything.
with the flap.
As long as it's warm, I don't care.
You ever have one of them? I had one.
You had the red ones?
My uncle gave me, I was probably 12 years old. He gave me a set of them for Christmas one year because I got to go deer hunting with him. And he said, you're going to need some thermals. And that's what he gave me. It was the red one piece with the butt flap. I don't think it had a flap. It had like this crack or whatever that you pulled open.
Curtain?
It was not. Yeah.
That's kind of.
I always pulled it. If you're going to have to go on one of them, you're going to have to pull it off the shoulders and get on down with it.
I'm just glad that long johns and thermals have evolved into what they have now. Because, I mean, back in the day when you wore them old chicken skins.
No, waffle ones, yeah.
Man, you would put them things on and they would, I mean, they were warm, but man, it would mat the hair up on, it'd make the hair on your legs hurt.
Do y'all ever have any more of those?
I don't know more, but I've definitely wore them.
I don't know if I had, if I do, I've got some folded up in the corner of the closet that I just don't wear anymore. Just keep them for, I don't know, keep them for.
The last ones I bought, I was buying those, it's just Cabela's brand underlayers.
Like base layers.
Base layers, yeah, that's what they are.
I was going to say, you can find
They're
them.
moisture wicking. They're pretty daggum warm.
I think Under Armour makes a good pair too.
Yeah. Oh, you can get real high dollar. Buy you some of that Sika stuff.
I can't stand the tight, like the compression fit.
Yeah.
I can't.
Where are you going to go? Just the Cabela stuff is loose.
See, I want something like a
it's not
fleece
super
or
tight.
loose or something soft, you know. Because like even to me, like I've had the Under Armour and then what's the other brand that's real fitted. To me, it feels like wind blows right through them.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I guess it's the moisture wicking that, I don't know, it don't feel as warm.
You got to get that 3.0 level. You can't get the 1.0s. You got to get that 3.0, that subarctic one.
Man, if you get some that are too hot, if you're moving very much, you got to be careful about that because we learned that rabbit hunting. Yeah. You can wear thermals, but you better not wear none of their like super, you know, insulated or whatever it is that's in them that makes them warm. But because I mean, once you start walking and hunting and stuff like that, man, you
shedding clothes.
That's why I don't.
Clothes.
It's very, very rare that it gets cold enough for us to need them here.
See, I wish I could still find an old pair of those. What was the Wranglers, the fleece line?
Dude, I still got them. I wish
the one that had the thermals in the like in the pants.
Yeah.
Man, those are so warm.
Mine are so old. I bought them at Buck and Bass on Mount Moriah. That's how old they are.
That's 20. That's probably 30 years old.
30 years.
You still got them? Still wear them?
Still got them. Yep.
Heck yeah.
Still wear
Doing all
them.
right,
They bite on their last leg.
Is that how you gauge if you're doing all right? You ain't put on no weight?
Yeah.
You still getting them 30-year-old britches?
Yep.
They just lose their spandex by the end. They just stretch.
Are they
with you.
briar pants?
No, it's like a
Carhartt pant.
It's almost like Carhartt fabric on the outside with a fleece liner on the inside.
Heck,
I'd burn them those.
You've had the same hoodie since I've been hunting with you. You wore the same orange hoodie long as I can remember.
I've had that one a long time. Some years.
So that's something I've always.
It's old Walmart. It ain't even nothing fancy.
An orange vest has always been like, I don't know, you get like attached to it. You don't ever want to change it, or once you get used to the vest you wear, you don't ever want to change it out and buy a new one or change up what you got. Or is that just me?
I mean, I'm pretty partial to mine. I've got a fleece one that I like, and I've got that hoodie that I like, and then I've got just a vest.
See,
if it's real cold, I'll put a heavier jacket on and throw a vest on. But if it's like most of our days, if it's not cold, a hoodie's all you need.
Yeah,
hoodie and t-shirt.
The orange vest thing, I mean, that's.
I don't know why
it's like a turkey vest.
I've only had a handful of, and I've wore some when I forgot it or something like that. But like I bought one years ago, and I guess I don't know what happened to it. I wound up tearing it up or giving it to one of the kids to wear, and it got lost. But now, I mean, this is only like the second or third orange vest in about 30 years that I've had that I keep on, and it's nasty. It's stained up. It's got stains on it and stuff from. We moved to deer stand years ago, and the black water come out and hit the top of it and run down it out of that.
Is that what's on that? I thought it was blood or something.
Well, there's blood stains on it too, but I mean, it's not nasty. I mean, I wash it. It's just stained all up, and I like wearing that vest, and it's kind of like I don't know what you call it.
It's like, I don't know if it's sentimental or kind of like you wear the same underwear, same socks hunting or whatever. I don't know.
I think mine's a Browning. I think it's a Browning Blaze orange vest, or Hell's Canyon.
Yeah, Hell's Canyon, what yours is.
And it's like a fleece, and man, I love it. But it's about too small for me because like I've had it since I was a kid, so it comes a little short.
It probably come from Buck Bass too.
Yeah, but I think it goes back to I got a lot of hunting clothes or hunting gear that's more sentimental because of who gave it to me. Like I got old orange, it's a Remington knife, like a skinning knife. And James Parson gave it to me when I was a kid, when we was at our old deer camp. And I still got it. I don't use it, but it still has that sentimental value to it, and kind of hold on to things like that. Seems like hunting stuff leans towards sentimental more than anything else.
It does, because I mean, I'm not the guy that goes out and buys the newest and best thing just because, you know, that's like those old climbing stands and stuff we had. You know, I was looking at climbing stands yesterday, see what new was out there and stuff like that, and they got some neat stuff out there, but I could never let go of that old man climbing stand that I had for years. It killed so many deer out of it, and finally it got to where it was, I thought it was unsafe and had to just retire it, but man, I hated letting go of that stand. And then couldn't find one like it again.
I still got mine hanging up in the shop. I don't use it, but I still got it.
Couldn't find it again.
I'd probably say most sentimental I got hunting wise would probably be that Browning knife. You got a Browning knife and I got a Browning knife for Christmas. And that's probably one of my, I'd be done hunting if I lost it.
I've seen you panic when you misplaced it.
I'll tear this place apart trying to find that knife.
I've seen that happen. You're like, man, I got to find my knife. Where's my knife?
I'm done if I ain't got it.
Mine be a toss-up between my knife and my climbing stand, because it was my climbing stand. Not mine. It was Thomas's before he died, and when he got to where his back hurt so bad he couldn't climb anymore, so he gave it to me. And I don't know. I'd be highly upset if something happened at climbing stand.
That or heck, I think you even got one, the old Dover elevator jackets.
I still got one.
Man, I ain't got mine no more,
dude.
Abby's got mine.
That's probably the cheapest jacket you can buy, but that sung on is warm.
Is it camo?
Yeah, Dover had a deal.
It's like a denim camo.
Yeah.
It was all mossy oak stuff years and years ago. You could get like it was probably $150, $200 jacket back then, and Dover got it for like $50 or something.
I think we paid $40 to Dover elevator, and we all got them.
Yeah.
Daddy got one. Jimmy got with us. You go to Abbeville hunting camp, every guy that walked in had one of them jackets on.
Did it say Dover on it for the elevator? Yeah.
Yeah, I think I tore the pockets out of mine. Something else, I don't remember. It was pretty much trashed. I wore it all the time.
I don't think I have like something like that.
You got to.
It doesn't come to my mind if I got something sentimental. I mean, I got some old crap. But
all my stuff's old.
I don't have anything like.
Trying to think what I've seen you with the most.
Yeah, binoculars, right? But I mean, when I think about it, I think of gear that I can't hunt that I gotta have. Like I feel like I need when I go to deer stand. I'm always going. If I take my rifle, I'm going to take a pair of binoculars. It's going to give me something to do where I can glass. And I'll tell you what, Jamie, when we first started hunting together, he told me them deer look a lot different when you look at them in binoculars versus looking at them in your scope.
Yeah, scope's instant kill mode.
Yeah, you're right. And so that's kind of my thing.
I can remember you first or second year down here going instant kill mode. I know one time for sure.
I've been hunting for some years, but I'm not a really, really experienced hunter. I don't claim to be. I enjoy the heck out of it.
I don't know,
but I've killed some deer, but I ain't killed that many big ones.
Oh, we've had some good times.
For sure.
We've had some
I've
some
hurt myself
stories
laughing down here.
And that's what I think, going back to what we were saying, like what makes deer camp is stuff like that, like the stories and sitting in a stand together. Like it ain't about the hunting. It's kind of what it snowballs into from that.
So,
I mean, if we were serious, like trying to find a target buck, and that's all we were going to do is hunt and split up, and we probably wouldn't be hunting this place.
Yeah,
we'd be off somewhere else. But this is camp. It is more about the memories and experiences.
So me and you kind of talked about it for the podcast. What's the craziest or scariest or wildest thing you've seen while hunting?
Man, I'll get you. You got one in mind that you want to tell?
On you or me?
You.
Man, I'm not a dark person. I'm not a huge fan of being in the dark. I ain't gonna
have a flashlight.
Oh, I don't even want to be there with the flashlight.
You need more than that.
I was probably 14 or 15. Anyway, Daddy shot a deer, and it was an afternoon. And anyway, it got dark. So he come to the house. He picked up me, my Uncle Jimmy, and my Uncle Jimmy had a lab that was pretty good about tracking deer. So we go down there, and we track this deer probably a mile. Anyway, dog finally caught it. Well, my uncle's like, hey, you go back to the truck, carry the dog with you, cut through this way, it'd be a whole lot quicker. So that's what I did, and I got my light, and I walk out. And as soon as I stepped out of the woods, I seen into the edge of the bean field, I seen two eyes. And I'm like, man, this ain't good. Shine it, man, I seen two more eyes. I'm like, oh crap, I done got a hold of something I don't need to be around. It was reflectors off a metal fence post. Man, I thought I done walked up on like a whole pack of wolves or something. You know,
It's gonna get you.
yeah, I was finna get got.
The scariest I've ever been, me and Waylon were hunting down in Coldwater, close to right. You know, we're right past the high school. You drop off. There's an access point. It's government land. We had done figured out there's a bunch of deer in there. There's 2 creeks that run through and go across some bridges, and it kind of pinches the deer in there. So we dropped off. We went in there one afternoon. It's probably 1 o'clock. We walked down the highway, dropped off in between after that first bridge, and got down in the just so flooded timber and stuff where the river gets at river bottom. We walked back up in there, and you always see people, so you got to get off the road a ways. So we were several hundred yards off the highway, I'm sure. I don't know how far it was, maybe a quarter mile. And you'd usually find an old bucket or something that had done washed up. And we didn't have stands or anything. We were just ground hunting. So we went back up in there, and I'd had a good place picked up because I'd been hunting there a little bit. And we set, and finally a buck came out, and I was going to shoot it. I don't even know if Waylon had a rifle. He was just with me. And I shot. I could have swore I hit the deer, and he thought I hit the deer. So we got to looking, and we never did find blood, but we walked all back in there. And it done got dark. And we may have had a flashlight, but this was before you had cell phones or anything.
Yeah.
Well, we got back in there and looking around, and we didn't know which way to go. We got turned around on that government land. And you couldn't – you'd think you could listen and hear where the cars or the highway was, but, man, you couldn't pinpoint which direction it was. And the further we walked, the higher the water got. We done got into the bottom. And so we got into where we started out. It was dry ground. We were trying to figure out which way this deer ran. We done got into ankle-deep water, and it was got calf deep, and it was getting knee-deep. I was like, man, we got to go back. We didn't, we got turned around, and it was about a full-blown panic. At one point, we were just surrounded by water. We didn't know where we were, couldn't figure out where anything was, and finally, I don't know what it was, a break. I saw a headlight, and it looked like it was miles away. And I said, damn, we've been going the opposite way of the highway where we're supposed to go the whole time. So we finally beeline back, and it probably took us an hour to get back, but it was a panic walk. When you're in there pitch black, and you ain't got up these little flashlights, and you ain't prepared, that was scary to me. I mean, I didn't think nothing was after us or anything. I was just like, we're going to be stuck out here all night. And I wasn't that experienced.
Come on, Energizer Bunny. Don't fail me now.
If that light would have went out, it'd have been over.
Would have been full-blown panic.
I was getting it. Waylon was trying to keep up, and I was getting out of there as fast as my big self could move through there.
That flashlight went out, you'd have screamed.
Oh yeah, it would have been good. It would have been good.
Oh, Lord.
I like to think I'm a little more experienced now. I wouldn't panic as much, but I don't know. When it gets dark, man.
When you get that feeling of like that split second of, oh crap, I'm lost. Yeah. That's a bad feeling.
It is. It's a paranoia. I mean,
because I've been there, like the place we hunted up there on Bahia Road, we used to hunt a lot. It wasn't a big acreage, but it was easy to get turned around.
Very easy to walk circles up there.
Well, it was a bunch of ditches. It was, I don't guess none of them had water in them.
None of them ran the way you think they ran. They kind of snaked. It was just old sloughs and stuff like that where it's old river bottom stuff where they just kind of snaked around real bad. And you would walk up and you'd walk to where a ditch was. You're like, all right, I'm at this ditch. That's cool. I'll just follow this ditch back towards the truck.
You ain't at the ditch you thought.
Be headed back the other direction.
That's exactly what happened to us where we were. It's a bunch of little creeks and ditches that run through it.
Follow those creeks.
And you cross, when you find a place, you'd always try to find a low spot where you could cross them. Or you'd go down it and find it and you'd cross, and then you'd be turned around and you'd have to cross it again. Well, we didn't know where we were.
So up there, me and Hunter got turned around one morning. I got that same feeling. And what's funny about it is, it's not big acreage. You know where you're at. You know you're between these two roads, north, south. Like you're not lost. You know you're in DeSoto County.
Yeah.
But you get in there and look, and you realize you don't recognize anything you're looking at. It feels like you're in a different freaking country. Like it's that just overwhelming panic to where like I've never seen this part of the woods in my life.
Would you do that in daylight?
This was daylight.
Oh, it was daylight.
So this story was me and Hunter went up there and hunted together, and we were probably in high school or right out of high school. Had a climbing stand. He hunted, I hunted, no big deal. We got down. I said, man, we'll come back this evening. So I don't move this climbing stand just 75 yards this way, which would have been, in my mind, would have been like due east. Like we're going to walk it straight out here. It opens up. I'm going to sit it on there. Then we'll come back this evening and hunt. We went over and put the climbing stand on the tree, hung it, knew exactly where we was at. All right, we're going to turn around and walk straight out to where the foiler was. Nope.
Didn't happen.
Didn't happen. We ended up, 2 miles further north, and I come out on a big bean field, and I seen a church, and I'm like, where the heck's there a church at up here? Like, I don't even know where a church is even close. And ended up, we were way far north than what we thought. We probably were on some kind of everybody else's game cameras but ours. I'm sure we waved at a bunch of them. But it was.
So did y'all go back that same way, or did you go around?
No, we ended up coming out on a big canal ditch, and I knew where it was at. And we just got in the bottom of the ditch and walked back to the truck. But we were, probably a mile and a half where we didn't think we were. And it was. We knew we wasn't lost, but it's still a bad feeling. It kind of makes you pay attention.
You got one, Mikey?
What's that? A story about hunting or getting lost?
Oh, were you scared?
Something that you've seen
something
or something
that you saw. Yeah, it could be something supernatural. It could be Bigfoot.
I've never been scared in the woods but one time, only once, and I've never been lost. I've come out in the wrong place several times, but I've never just been totally lost. But anyways, so I was. Me and Daddy were coming out from coon hunting one time, and I was probably 11, 12 years old maybe. And anyways, just me and him, we had old Ben, our coon dog, down in the woods where he had treed on the other side of this slough. He had swam the slough after the coon and went on the other side, so we had to take the long way all the way around it. And back then, like you said, we didn't have some little old ever-ready flashlights and stuff. Daddy had a big coon light on his head, but the battery on them only lasts so long. We had them wide open. So we were just kind of tipping through the woods, coming down through there, and I had the 22. Daddy had the leash and the light and all that stuff. So we were walking out. We were walking down this little old goat path coming out. Well, evidently we had walked past or gotten close to a pack of coyotes. And anyways, them things went to hooping and hollering like right on top of us. Well, Daddy stopped. He told me, asked me, was that gun loaded? And I said, yes, sir, it's loaded. And I could hear the coyotes in the leaves circling around us. And he said, we're going to take off walking again, and I'm going to spin around and cut this big light on. He said, you empty that gun. And so we kept walking, and you could hear them. They were on us, man. They were close. And he turned around and turned that light on. It was so many of them. There were so many eyes, and all I could see was fire coming out of that 22 and dogs hollering as they ran off. But I was a kid back then. That's one of the only times I've ever been really scared in the woods.
The only other time I've been full-blown panic, and this was the opposite side of Ark Butler Lake. We'd slipped in there to go. Buddy found a big duck blind back there. He said, man, I got a spot. I know how to, we're going to get to it. We're going to waylay them. Nobody's hunting it. It's on government land. He said, I don't know whose it was. I was new to duck hunting. Never really duck hunted. But I had me some waders, and I had a decoy bag, and off we went. We crossed some cow fields and went over these little drainage ditches that we'd had chest high. We'd had to float across, and we got back in there and started wading in this timber. And every step I took, I sunk down more. Every step. I didn't even make it to the blind. I never saw the blind. I think I may have got 100 yards out there in this timber. And by the time I was up near about to my tits, it was that deep, and it was all mud. It wasn't that much water. And I didn't think, I was done. I told him, I said, man, I can't get out. I can't move. I'm stuck. I was full-blown stuck. And he couldn't pull me out. He was a smaller guy. And so all I had was my shotgun and that decoy bag. And we probably had 24 decoys in it. And if it hadn't been for that decoy bag, I don't know if I'd have got out, but I had to kind of roll on my belly. Get on them decoys and kind of let it float up out of that mud. Mm-hmm. And when the way I got back was I would just have to go by trees and try to step on roots and stay up above that mud. But it got so bad up in there and I never went back. And it was all day. We went in there early that morning before daylight, and it was well after 1 or 2 o'clock before I ever made it back to the truck. And I was done with duck hunting.
And you had flashbacks when we went wood duck hunting down there with BJ.
No, this was like this. Oh, yeah, I did. When he took me in there, that's why I had me a stick, and I was poking, and I was watching where they were stepping. And I don't like it, man. A big guy in mud don't work.
Dave, you want to test your woodsmanship on being lost and stuff like that, you go to Askew Bottoms, and you walk out there and. In the daytime, you can get, and then the water, and when they got it flooded and everything like it is in the wintertime, and you kind of get caught up on the backside of, that water or something and find yourself like you and Waylon did, where you was like, well, darn, let me turn around and go this way. And then you get spun around out there, and then you walk out. You think you can walk out and see a road, but it was grass fields it was for hundreds of yards.
You never see it.
There would be a road 50 yards from you couldn't even see it. And so you step out in them grass fields and look around, you know, and you weren't never lost, but you weren't where you're supposed to be.
I've been down there hunting. But I hadn't ventured around. I was always with a group, and they knew where we were going. But it is.
It's easy to get turned around that big timber where you can see the sun, but all the trees look the same. Everything looks the same. You get on a big
you can't hear roads
like that. You can't hear nothing. And especially if you're out there by yourself. There's been a bunch of times I've been in there and, you know, get out in a, you know, patch of woods, have to stop and kind of get my bearings about me and look around like, man, I know I've been through here before duck hunting, but I don't see nothing familiar right now. And it take you a minute. And you might be 25, 30 yards off to the left a little bit from where you usually come in at.
So for our question of the week this week, I had something I wanted to get y'all's take on, and we're going to get people to answer this too, hopefully in the comments we'll post it on Facebook. But should you harvest old does or young does? We know we're a doe killing club. We're going to have to kill a bunch of them this year. That's all I'm seeing on cameras. The bucks have vacated the county, I think. But when it comes to harvesting does, are you killing old does or young does? What's a quick take on it?
I'm shooting does.
You don't care?
I mean, if you can easily judge, hey, that's an old doe, I'm probably going to shoot the old doe. But in the same sense, a mouth is a mouth is a mouth. As long as you get, like we are, try to get mouse off the plots and manage the herd, at the end of the day, it don't matter. To me, it don't.
That's a good answer. What's your take, Mikey?
Yeah, I mean, I think you got to look at the variables that they're in front of you because, I mean, if you're on a place like us, then, yeah, if you're just managing does, trying to clean them out, yeah, anyone will fit. Anyone will fit the bill. But if you're, you know, just say we had the ratio right down here or something, you know, where we didn't have to kill so many does, I'm shooting a big doe. I'm going to try to find that big one. I mean, that may not be right, but I'm going to find that older, bigger doe.
What's your take, Jamie?
I mean, many does as I kill. No, if I'm shooting a doe, I'm going to go body-wise. I definitely want to go for the bigger one. But.
So I thought that too. I was like, man, you want to kill these old, smart does. That's the ones that's always blowing you out. That's the ones that's going to come out last, and they're going to stomp, and they're going to let the other little deer run around while they're watching and everything. But what I got to reading, and I don't know, you know, all the science behind it, but when it comes to your deer population, the older does are typically the ones that's going to drop your twins and your triplets. And they're the ones that the younger does learn how to survive on. So if you kill your older does, that next generation of does isn't going to have the survivor instinct, and it's going to hurt your population of deer, your overall herd health anyway, because you're taking out the wise ones that actually teach them how to survive, teach them how to stay away from predators, teach them what food to eat, where to go. What do y'all think about that? I mean, because it made sense when I read that. I never thought about it. I thought about take out the old smarter ones, little ones will stay around. But
I mean, it definitely makes sense. And then a lot of your older does are going. I don't know if they matured enough to have better genetics or just ability to take care of their fawns better too.
So that's something to consider. Should we all be taking? I mean, because on a perfectly managed property, what this article said that I happened to read was take out all the young ones you want. If you want to shoot them, take out the young ones. Those are the ones that's going to be eaten. Those are the ones you still got your old breeders on there. They're going to have twins. Now, when they get grandma age, you know, and they're going to go downhill, you definitely want to kill those, and hopefully those will be the big ones that y'all are looking for. We're talking about because we always did it. Well, not always, but here the past couple of years, we'd do a biggest doe contest. That was kind of something for us to do to track it. Well, it just got us in the habit of weighing does, looking at their health, seeing how much fat's on them, all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know what the perfect answer is because
I don't think it is.
It's got to be a balance.
Yeah.
I mean, if you, like it said, you don't want a perfectly managed property, you're probably, your herd is so much thinner than, you know, and not as dense as what we have here. So you're wanting that herd to survive and you're wanting those older does to teach the younger does how to make it, because you may go to the stand and not see but one or two does in a sitting in a perfect, you know, in a place where the population is correct. Yeah. You may not see but one or two does in a day. You know, but like somewhere like we're at, I'm shooting that joker because I don't want her coming up there busting up my hunt.
Yeah.
If she blows that old horn on me, I'm getting her for sure.
Well, we want to know what y'all think if you listen to this podcast, and we'll post this on Facebook. We'll get it to Jacob or Tyler, somebody to put up a link to it where we can comment on it. But should you kill your old does or your young does on the property you're hunting? That's a good question.
I think it's all about balance.
It's all about balance.
Because if you're shooting up with young does, you're never going to have an old doe.
That's true.
I mean,
eventually, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Well, hopefully you ain't going to kill them all, though. But, that's going to do us for today, fellas. I know we got some things we're going to do. Martin, me and you go run out there and see if we can locate some scrapes. It ought to be time to find some. We got to move a camera. We got them on persimmon trees, but it's time to see if we can find scrapes. Persimmon's done played out.
Might do a little walk around, look at some, see if there's any of them big oaks over there by the pond stand dropping.
There you go. What's cooking in camp? Jamie, you and Mikey going to be doing recipes. What y'all think about cooking at camp today?
Man, I'm going simple. Darren does it at his deer camp when I go over there all the time. Just a skillet fried potatoes, and I'm a meat potatoes guy, so it's hard to beat some good old fried potatoes
for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. Fried potatoes,
carbs.
They gonna have meat in them, or is it just tater?
Just potatoes, onions. That's it.
Good old fried taters, man. Give me some ketchup, get them crunchy. What about you, Mikey? What you got going?
Man, I'm making a soup today.
Deer camp soup?
Well, it's actually, they call it you call it soup or a stew, but it's,
it's that, hey, it's getting, that cold weather makes it. I made a big pot of vegetable soup with some leftover steak I had Sunday.
Man, I made some turkey and dumplings last night that were jam up. They were good.
Wild turkey too.
Wild turkey.
Yeah, we're gonna have to talk about that next week. We're definitely gonna. That might have to be. I got a turkey breast. You think you can duplicate it?
Yeah. Probably duplicate it better because Jody's daddy shot this one, and he's a shoot him in the chest kind of guy. Yeah. So I had to pick some shot out of my dumplings. But
did it run no metal detector?
Yeah.
See what's got any TSS in it?
It was good eating though.
Well, y'all be sure to like and comment on that on people's entries at Buck Junkies Outdoors Club for the giveaway or the Mystery Ranch backpack. We're definitely giving that away. Mike, any other news we need to?
No, not right now. Y'all just look out for other contests coming up. This one will end Friday, so by the time this podcast comes out, y'all might have a little bit of time left to get an entry in to get that backpack, but we'll be running another one right after this one. We haven't decided on what that'll be yet, but y'all just keep checking the Facebook page, Buck Junkie Outdoors Club, and we should be running some more contests later in the year.
Yeah, if it's a youth weekend, we want to see pics of them youth deers.
Yeah, don't be scared to put a post on there anyways. It's wide open, y'all.
Yeah, always.
We want to see what you got, anything, whether from fish to deer or turkeys or whatever it is. So don't be scared to get on there and put a post on there.
Well, Mark, you want to take us on out?
Man, I will. We appreciate y'all listening. Y'all check us out on all the platforms. Again, if y'all got questions, you know where we're at. Shoot us an email or message. We'll be glad to answer it. Good luck hunting out there. Keep us posted on the pictures, and we'll see y'all next time.
We gone.